I'm not counting myself.
You had to pick a rainy day in London?
That's like every day in London.
It'll stop in like 6 minutes.
Alright. So how's your guys' Valentine's Day going?
Pretty uneventful here.
I was going to say, I'm here.
That's because you love me.
Love you, mean it. Sent you a WhatsApp. You can look at it later.
Yeah, I just saw it right as it jumped on. We can do that. I didn't know you were doing sombrero too, so.
I didn't either, but the group is going, and I need a social life too, so.
I gotcha. I'm cool with that. It'll be good running.
Yep. You want me to do the 15?
I mean, you're already gonna be there. Why not?
All right, then.
I mean, do you really want to drive for a 40-minute or a 45-minute run or a 20-minute run?
No.
Exactly. What? We're not getting the air. No. Oh man, so we're gonna do some attacking today because we're on the Greater London Loop. Or the flat loop, I should say.
The flat loop or the Greater London?
It should be Greater London Flat.
I did not know there was a choice.
Yeah, it's finally they did that because remember they had the Classique for a while that sucked. It was like 2 kilometers. Yeah. So they added that little extra bit, put on a flat route, so it's 7 miles.
Nice. I rode the Greater London this morning on my workout.
Nice.
I was WhatsApping with my sister, and she was wondering what the hell I was doing up at 3:30 in the morning.
Like same as every 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm riding in London. What are you doing in London at 3:30 in the morning? She lives in Notting Hill.
Like it's raining here in my London. What's it doing in your London?
Cats and dogs, baby.
So I got my level 25 yesterday.
Hey, congratulations.
It's pretty disappointing, actually. You know, all I got was an ugly jersey and a cycling cap.
Yeah, and it's pink too, right? I don't think I ever wore it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you can wear it during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There's that.
What's that?
You can wear it during Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I could wear it all the way through October, that's true. Why does it look like I'm spooning with somebody?
Or is he spooning with you?
Is it a she? I can't tell. It's wearing a helmet.
Looks like it's a Malaysian rider, so.
He's got Margaret Thatcher ankles, though, so it could be girl.
About 125 days left.
You're counting?
Dude, it's been one of those weeks.
I've had a similar week.
Yeah.
I actually started looking for that number at the Truck Driving Institute.
Rich, how you doing? Thanks for coming back.
Sure, I've had one of those weeks too.
Not only is it a group ride, it's a group therapy ride.
Yeah, unfortunately I've had like a couple weeks like that. And then I caught myself killing off a bottle of rum much faster than I normally would.
Ooh, that's not good.
So, I was like, I gotta dry out this week. It's not a good week to quit injecting heroin, you know.
Picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue.
Exactly. Holy cow. But yeah, it's just been... Yeah.
Yeah, I came right up against getting a letter this morning. It would be my second for the same reason.
Well, you know. You can't allow yourself to be the workplace bully.
Now I just got up and walked out.
Yeah. Like, I have to go to the bathroom and break the mirror. Nah, it's just dealing with random stupidity. Monday it was my good friends here. Tuesday it was my good friends in Miami.
I think you keep the wrong kind of friends.
Yeah. I'm using that word very loosely.
Yeah, I use it when I talk about my good friends in the tube.
Yeah, exactly. Same kind of friends.
Maybe they're just acquaintances.
They're like the friend that you don't really know them that well, but you kind of, they show up somewhere you are and they sit down, and the next thing you know, the police are asking you about what you did. That's the kind of friends they are.
Yeah, you need your friends.
Go. Why is it Zwift Live, or why is it Facebook can never start on time?
I don't know, I don't use Facebook, sorry.
Now we're trying to stream this for those who can't make it, and there we go. It always starts like that 1 minute late. Alright, we are now live on the stream.
How many people watch that stream in general?
Throughout the week, probably a total of about 600. It goes up on YouTube next week as welcome everybody to the ODZ Skills and Drills Valentine's Day edition. We will be showing our affection and love for each other by attacking each other pretty hard a few times during the race and trying to just speed away in a giant huff. 'Cause that's how evenings are supposed to go on the 14th of February from what I understand. Alright, get
You definitely need new friends.
You know how it goes. You work with what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one friend that I keep giving just impossible tasks to and crazy workouts, and he keeps coming back. I don't know what to say about that.
You should not talk about your wife like that.
She's my wife, she's not my friend. Alright, so we're going to be starting off today's ride like normal at 1.5 watts a kilo. So for those of you watching the live stream, you are more than welcome to start heckling anybody who shoots off the front at 2 or 3 watts per kilo or more. Feel free to send them in-game chats. If they don't come back, just to let them know that we're not going to chase them. Alright, so we're going to be focusing on attacking today, and when we talk attacking, we'll be talking how we hit on the gas to get a little bit of a gap, and then where we settle in for a little bit longer of an attack. So we're not talking about a 200 or 300 meter sprint. We're talking about that move you would make to try and get away and stay away from, 4 or 5K to go, maybe a little bit less. So if you think about it going into the S's on Watopia, if you're finished at the finish line, or coming into the last tunnel, making your attack. If you're coming out of the flat route, I'm going to take a right towards the start-finish line. So that's what we're talking about, that long attack from there. Not a crazy long, not a 10K suicide mission attack, but definitely a much longer effort. Now we're not going to do the whole effort. We are going to simulate it, but we want you to get the basic idea. So I'm going to type some of what we're going to do out. Feel free to amuse everybody or each other while I'm typing.
I'm still spooning. I'm not comfortable with this.
But you're spooning while moving your legs. So if you think about what we're doing today, it is pretty much 5 to 8 minute power is what we'll be looking at if you were trying to do this in a full up race. And one of the most common go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, is it worth putting the Discord stuff out there early? Because I know it takes people a while to get that set up and running.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the reminder.
Not sure if it's worth putting in that it's an audio, just so they know it's audio.
Yeah, okay, one sec. I'm answering another question right now.
I'll keep heckling you. Perfect.
Hey, Mackenzie here. Just wanted to thank you guys for having such a great group to ride with. I'm new to Swift for the last month or so, and I'm glad I found you guys.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for joining in with us. I would ask you to keep your judgment reserved on whether we're a good group to ride with, but we try.
Well, I just remember, as long as I keep my dangles away, or my dongles away, I'm fine.
There you go. Yes.
Can you say that on family radio?
We're not family. We're PG-13.
Oh.
Or PG, at least. We're PG. All right. Yeah, Johnson, we got you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I unlocked this kit last night. The stage in the Giro de Castelli unlocked this gray arrow light, I guess it's called.
Yeah. Oh, so you can actually ride it in game, not in this ride for once.
Actually, if you did 3 stages, they put you in a drawing for some real life.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the stages was last week at the same time this ride was, so couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was cheating last week. I was doing that instead.
All right, so like usual, we're going to do our 1.5 watts a kilo max at the front. Take the time to practice moving around. Try to get a feel for the draft. It's just different than real life.
Don't forget to turn your fan on you.
It's on. Thank you. I actually got that because my AC wasn't running most of the day for some reason. All right, so I'm going to act as a center point. Feel, like I said, go to the front, take your time, move to the back.
We have a micro group tonight.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, I'm doing 1.5, so let's not fight for position at the front yet. We're gonna have plenty of time to work the legs later. All right, who's our flyer up there? F6 and Johnson. All right. Perfect. All right, so got a little split. It's all right when you guys slow down to come back to me, you'll come back to me. Yeah, we're not trying to drop anybody. You are authorized to use power-ups if you feel the need. So one thing I want you guys to remember is when you're on these slight grades, really try and watch that power output so we don't accidentally jump on it and hammer away at 3 or 4 watts a kilo when we're trying to be good and not burn any matches.
Sorry, I'm part of the problem. I'm up here eating dinner and got way off the front.
That's okay. You can come back to us.
Dude, if you're eating dinner and going off the front, you're hired.
Sorry. Just finishing up the last few bites.
Is it a burrito?
No, it's actually spicy ramen noodles.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. I have not figured out what I'm doing for dinner yet.
Endurance food.
It may be something similar to a sandwich. But
Better known as a sandwich.
Right, I will use the fancy term for it and call it a sandwich.
Take out from Square Grouper.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Alright, looks like we are coming back together. Oh, that's not a good view. You just see the tunnel. We got a few folks rocketing off the front still. That's okay. They'll come back and re-attack. So what we're going to do when we do our attacks today, we're going to start with step one. And step one is get that gap. So we're just going to practice some quick surges. I'm going to want you to, when I say go, we're going to ramp it up over 10 seconds. And it's not a 10-second max power effort. It's simply a surge big enough to get away. Now, usually you're going to have to do at least 50% more than the other riders around you if you want to create a big gap right away. Obviously that ratio varies based on how much they're doing and how much you're doing and how big the group is. You may have to do more, you might be able to do a little bit less. And a lot of that also depends on what kind of terrain you're on. Fortunately, we're more or less on a flat, mostly flat course today, or we're supposed to be. So we'll just have to use just pure power to get away. And all we're gonna do is, like I said, 10 seconds. I'm gonna want you guys to build up to something that you could potentially hold for 1, maybe 2 minutes. And the reason I say I want you to be able to hold it for 1 to 2 minutes is in a real attack to make a break or to get away, you may have to hold that 1 minute to 2 minute power for that time before settling in your 5 minute power. So if you go too hard too early, you won't have 5 minute power to settle into. You'll be at 20 minute power. And if it's over the last 5K, that just might not be enough to keep you away. So I'm going to type a little bit out. Feel free to ask questions or just banter about as we move about the group.
Hey, any tips on staying in the draft?
Yes, use view 3, and that will help you because it'll help you better know where you really are in comparison to the rider in front of you.
Also, when you're in that view, you can see your avatar. You'll know if you're in the draft because your avatar will sit up. When you're not in the draft, your avatar will be in more of an arrow position.
Well, that's in views 1 and 2. If you're in 3, it's from your eyes.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
You can really see how close you are to the rider in front of you.
Gotcha.
Your theory works really well on a Peloton.
I'm coming with a couple of people.
So if your last name begins with the letters A through M, you're in group 1. Good job at easing off most of you as we hit the little climb. Now this is one of those places that honestly is a great launch pad for an attack, as long as you can survive the 5% grade.
So in a race on a grade like this, if you're using a smart trainer and you got your smart trainer set at 50%, I understand that your power will dictate your speed with the grade, but how does the feel change? What's the advantage?
So you're still going to feel it at 50%. The only thing that 50%, well, the good thing about 50% vice 100% is you're not going to probably have to go down to your small chain, and you're also not going to spin out on a descent. So if you actually hit a 5% climb like that, you're going to, if you're at 100%, you're going to feel it. And if you're not in the right gear, you're going to grind to a halt or near. You're going to just be hurting. Whereas if you're in 50%, you hit it, you maybe shift once or twice, or just come out of the saddle and you're good to go. And if you're in 0%, it's just a dumb trainer, you won't feel it at all. Alright, group up front, need you guys to ease up. We got a little split on that hill. Does anybody have any questions about the acceleration that we're going to be doing?
No, sir.
So like I said, we're going to start at 10 seconds first, and then we're going to bump it up to probably about 20 to 30 seconds max. The non-accelerating group will be doing 1.5. But once your time is up from your acceleration, drop to a 1.0 until everyone's caught back up.
Are you in group 1 or group 2?
I will be in group 2.
So we're gonna chase for the group leader, hey?
All right, so group 1, get set. Group 1, go. 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease up. So 10 seconds, not all that much. How many people actually were just hammering it by just trying to get enough to get away?
I ramped it up kind of easy, just to 3. Wasn't too hard.
Yeah. And you guys got a 4-second gap.
We got a gap. I see it.
It's enough to start with. Group 2, get set. Group 2. Go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I'm fairly certain Group 1 was going faster than we were when if I can explain this, when we left the other group.
Yeah, I actually was planning originally to catch Group 1 and attack off of them, but they didn't really listen and come back as quick as we would have liked.
I eased it close to 1, and you just hit me at the end of that. You just closed the 4 seconds.
Yeah, there were some other people in front.
I was back at 0.7.
No, I know. There were a number of you who were. The problem is when you're in a group, it's just real hard to come back to it. And there's a couple people who are doing 1.7 still, kind of towing the group around. Okay, so group 2 is going to go first this time.
That was a good pull, by the way.
We're going for 20 seconds.
Same effort, right? Just 20 seconds.
Yep, same effort, 20 seconds. All right. Set. And go. I'm easing up. I'm not going to try and do 7 watts a kilo right now.
One of you popped off to 11 and a half.
Yeah. All right, ease up.
That's
All right, so we got a little 3 to 5. We got about 7, 8 seconds, so that's good.
So, quick question, Ian.
Yeah.
So, when you do that, does it make a difference if you're out of the saddle or not?
It depends on what makes you most explosive and how you can get up to speed quickest. I did that one seated. The other one I did standing.
Okay.
All right, group 1. Go. Now, I normally launch my efforts from a standing position because I'm more explosive that way. 10 more seconds. All right. All right, group 1, ease up. Good job. Gotta let you guys go a little bit longer to catch back on.
I kind of coasted into the back of you from about 50 meters up.
Oh, that's good. That's actually a great practice on how to jump back onto the group. All right, so I think everybody gets the basic idea of how to get that gap, right?
Roger.
We had a bunch overshoot.
Yeah.
It's all inertia. It's hard to stop this extra weight I carry.
Yeah, for sure.
So one of the things, and we covered that in a lot of our other classes, and we'll go back to it because it's really one of those most critical skills that you have to keep practicing is as you're coming onto a back of a group, you have to ease off the pace a lot earlier than you think. Otherwise, you're shooting over the group.
So in general, if you try to create that gap on a hill, you have more success than if you're on a flat?
If you're little. Or really powerful.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", that doesn't help me then.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways. So if you look at guys like Greg Van Avermaet, they are really powerful. You know, the Peter Sagans, you know, they can do a gap on a small, steep climb, a punchy climb. But they can't do it on something long. You know, whereas you get a guy like Valverde, you give him a steep climb and make it a little bit longer, he's going to get away from those guys because his power to weight ratio is really high. Bigger guys can do it, or daring guys and gals on the road, but bigger people can do it on Zwift as you crest a climb or crest a hill.
Thanks.
So am I the only one to actually hit my brakes when I overshoot?
I used to do that too, don't worry. I actually sometimes still feather my brakes.
I actually tried to pedal backwards once.
Yeah, and it's and I'm on a smart trainer with no rear wheel, so yeah.
Exactly.
I do that, and I also tend to close my eyes when I'm crossing across people and they're right in front of you.
All right, missed that entirely. What are we doing now?
All right, so you're gonna do 5-second acceleration. You know, to your, you know, like your gap pace, but only 5 seconds. Then you're gonna settle into a 5-minute power for 1 minute.
Got it.
All right, G1, get set. And go. 105 now. So you have 5 seconds. Settle into your 1 minute power now. Or your 5 minute power, excuse me. 5 minute power. And a few up the road, just crushing it. 4, 4.0, 4.7. Bisaha, that's awesome. It's awesome, Mark, good. See whose heart rates are getting up there. About 20 seconds left. You got 160's the high, 164. It's the highest I'm seeing right now. All right.
Because you're not looking at me, Ian.
All right, ease it up. All right, 1.0 until passed by the beacon, G1. G2, get ready. Get set. G2. Go. All right, settle into your power in your 1 minute effort. All right, I gotta pick it up. I am definitely not in my 5 minute power.
One point oh up front.
I'm in the bike lane.
Well, then you have the right of way.
All right, ease up, G2. All right, good job, Rich. How was that for you?
Still breathing hard.
Good. Good.
You're 12 back.
Yeah, we're coming back.
Lead group, you're 7 ahead.
So any of you guys think you could actually hold that effort for 5 minutes?
Not me.
Yeah, so
I'm still breathing hard.
Yeah, I can do 5.
good. So
It was a toss-up for me. I was just trying to stay in the draft of the group that had formed, but it was a little bit above my effort.
okay, so that's a good point.
Yeah, we had a tight group up front. Good tight group up front. It helped.
Anybody see the top speed?
No, I didn't look.
I was looking at my heart rate. I think we went out of the ludicrous and into the plaid, though.
I'm down on it way back up here. Actually, you guys are almost here.
Yeah, we're gonna regroup. We're gonna let the legs recover real quick. We're gonna do it like this one more time. We're gonna go a little bit longer. And we're gonna play a little game with it though. All right, so again, if you need to recalibrate, let's recalibrate on this one. So we're going to do it again before we get into our game. And the game's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely what we would call an evil elf game. So
Excellent.
I think you guys will enjoy it.
That sounds fun.
It is not going to be as bad as Crack the Whip. Well, I make no promises. It might be. All right, so it's going to be the same thing. 10 seconds and into a minute. Like I said, let's recalibrate. Let's really try and get it where that minute, you might be a little bit winded, but you're not gassed. All right, G2 is first this time. So G2, get ready. I'm gonna go with G1, so you won't have me with you this time. All right, G2. Go! All right, ease into your 1 minute. Thirty seconds left. Let's see what we got up here. Oh, started typing. I can't go look at people. Dang it. All right, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can ease up. Let's see what we got up the road as far as 167, 47. Jonathan, good job. 152. Webster's not letting us see. Good job, Rich. All right, G1, get set. And go. All right, ease into it. Like I said, this should be hard, but you should not be dead after 1 minute at this effort. Fifteen seconds. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1. And ease up. Good job. You guys dialed in better?
Definitely better.
Maybe a little too hard. I was chasing you for some reason.
Yeah, not necessary.
Yeah, I watched you go past me. I decided I was not getting on that wheel.
That felt good though.
So I'm having a hard time trying to figure out or gauge the effort. Should I go by my watts per kilo or my watts based off my FTP?
Your watts based off your FTP.
Okay, yeah, because my FTP is 200 and I was about 300. So is that too much? That's too much?
Yeah.
5 minute effort should be about maybe 20% more than your FTP,
Yeah.
25% more.
Yeah, and so if you're blowing up, that's why I just put out there 115 to 120. 115 is probably a little low, but if you do that first, you can always crank it up. You got to find out where you can do it.
That's good advice, thanks.
Yeah, 150% is like 1 minute effort. So, and that's one of the important things here is learning your different effort outputs.
And it's a little bit tricky here because you're asking us to do a 5 minute effort, but for only a period of 1 minute.
Right.
That's actually a really interesting mental exercise.
So in theory, that should actually be quite easy.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I'm able to talk at it. But I wouldn't be able to talk if we were at 3 minutes doing that.
Makes sense.
All right, we're gonna regroup a little bit. So what I just typed out was muscularly this should be a little bit hard. So, you know, if you're at 5 minute power, even doing 25% of that, you're gonna feel it a little bit, 20% of that. But you're just gonna feel that you're putting out effort. But aerobically, you shouldn't be getting near your peak heart rates.
So when you're saying muscularly hard, I'm thinking lower cadence. Is that right?
No, I mean, you should just feel it in your legs. Well, I can't help you on that, man. If you did a pretzel a couple hours ago, you're just going to be hurting, period.
Humble brag.
Yeah. No, and so what I mean by muscular hard, you should start feeling a little bit of lactic acid coming into the legs at the 1 minute mark. Not a lot, but just enough to let you know that you're going above threshold. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
It should be easily cleared still at 1 minute. So part 3 is going to get a little tricky. we're gonna be launching. I'm gonna launch people off, not in groups of, not the big groups. They're gonna go smaller groups, and we're gonna ride at a 2 to a 2.5. And you're gonna have to try and get away. You have 2 minutes to stay away. 2 minutes to escape. You can't do more than 5-minute power, but you don't have to do 5-minute power. You can do a little less. And you want to see how long then, when you drop back to a 1.0 after your 2 minutes are up, does it take for you to get caught? So how much gap, and then how much gap can you get, and then how long does it take to get brought back? So with the group, when the group catches back on, you just join the 2.0. All right, questions on that? Is it clear as mud?
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
We got a few people up the front.
Yeah, I just got dumped off Discord and came back in. I missed everything you said. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll just follow somebody.
Okay. It's going to be, when I say go, and if I call you out by name, you're going to go for 2 minutes at a 5-minute power effort, and then you'll sit up at 1.0. And the goal is to see really what the gap you get, and how long does it take for us to pull you back when we're doing 2 to 2.5.
Got it.
So no big burst, just straight into 5-minute power.
Straight into 5-minute power. All right, let's bring it to 2.0 to 2.5. All right, so the first victims are going to be Lloyd. And Mackenzie will go with you. That way, you have more time to sit down later on when you're done. When you're done.
Muchas gracias.
All right, you guys have to watch your own time. 2 minutes. All right. I gotta get back to my group here. All right, the rest of the group stay with me here. All right. Mark, you're going to be the next group. Get set. I'm going to launch you in about 5 seconds. All right, you guys can go. So I'm caught in what's called the sticky draft of Seth.
Told you I didn't want the spooning.
All right, Jonathan, you'll be next.
Two F's in O'Keefe.
Oh, sorry. I almost gave you 3 E's. All right, good job, Lloyd. 15 seconds. That's nice.
It's actually 3 E's and 2 F's, but who's counting?
No, but I almost gave you 3 consecutive E's.
This is Charlie. I'm just sticking up for Jonathan.
Jonathan can't really talk right now.
Speaking of, Charlie, you're up next.
Thank you. Thanks for not putting me with O'Keefe.
You're very welcome.
21 seconds.
I got 19 on you, Coach.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, 22.
22, huh? Okay. I like it.
I think I went a little too hard, though.
Good numbers.
All right. Last set of victims go. Good job, Mackenzie. So the benefit of those attacking later, you're getting to bridge groups. Oh man, so Lloyd, 2 minutes catches, that's not bad. So that's going to tell you if you can hold what you did and you can get a gap of 30 seconds roughly, or 15 seconds, the group's going to have to go significantly faster to pull that back. Now the benefit of the draft is when you group up, when the group is formed, we can actually go faster at the same effort. So
2 minutes, right?
2 minutes, yep. Now I'm just going to hold 2.5 still, but it's just interesting that you're going to be able to push in, put these efforts in, and if you can get 15 to 20 seconds, it takes a lot longer than that 2 minutes to pull you back if you can ride at a sustainable pace. Now that sustainable pace is sustainable until you reach the finish line. Then you can just blow up and fall over. Doesn't matter at that point. Watch the street poles. Good job. Some folks got 16 seconds up the road. Others are more. Very nice. We're pulling through. Good job, Mackenzie. That's what I like to see. So one of the things with Zwift that's actually great, if you do your attacks and time it where you have a gap after the crest, but it's not necessarily a big downhill, it's just a slight downhill or even off into a flat, and then really lay into that 5-minute power, you can widen that gap pretty significantly while the rest of the group is still climbing. And unless they really get on the gas to chase you, you can open up from a 3 to 5 second gap to 15 to 20 really fast. And if you take it one of the bigger climbs, like up to the radio tower, if you can break from somebody and put some time into them from that right turn that you're going up, the last little bit going up, as soon as you make that downhill, if you can stay on the gas through that flat section, you can just really open up a lot of time in that downhill, unless you weigh 60, 61 kilos. But if you're an average sized rider, you can really get away. Charlie, how you surviving?
It's funny because that's usually where I get dropped in the fondos.
on the downhills?
Right in that corner, man.
Yeah, that's where I do the most damage on people when we do those rides. That's the one and only time I've been able to hold off Robert Lyons when he's been really pushing.
Next thing I know, the whole group is down the hill like 20 seconds ahead of me, and there's that other like very tall incline.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, we're gonna have one more game after this. Once we catch back on. Really like our tight group here. Good job. All right, Kim, need you to ease up. All right, everyone at 1.0 and spin the legs for a minute. Karen, thanks to Ride On. We're gonna let the legs recover before we start our last game.
Sorry if I had an open mic there for a while. I was sweating all over my iPhone. I think it pressed the button for me.
No worries. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna reinforce why I say you don't go max power on that first attack. So more often than not, when you attack, unless you are just that much stronger than everybody else, the first attack is not going to succeed. But if at first you don't succeed, what do? You try again.
Try again.
That's right.
Oh, have a donut.
So
give up.
What we're going to do is we're going to practice that. When I say go, you can attack at will. However, once you attack, you have to re-attack when I pass you. So you'll attack and then sit up. It's going to be 15 seconds. Then you're going to sit up. Every time I pass you, you have to attack again. I may ride at 2.5. I may follow your attack. But if I pass you, if the beacon's in front of you, after you've made an attack, you got to start again. So if you wait for a minute, you don't have to attack right away. But once you launch that first attack, it's just going to be, you're going to have to repeat every time I pass you. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Okay, so everyone get behind me. All right. I'm going to get in front of these folks, and then it's going to be game on. All right, attack at will. There goes Rich. Routier O'Keefe. Good. Remember, only 15 seconds. Good job, Charlie. All right, so you guys who are busting out 11, 14, 15, if that's near your max, I predict you're gonna hurt in about 2 minutes. Especially when I roll by you at 5 and you still have to attack over me.
No, I misunderstood that. Sorry.
Hurting.
So what if I never catch you again?
Then you're good. Now I'm easing back up, so just try and get back on. Attack to get back on.
That was good about 2 minutes ago.
I'm finding safety in numbers here.
Alrighty, here we go.
I hate that guy.
Goddamn beacon.
Good, Lloyd. It's also one of those exercises and why we don't go for too long. Because if you go for too long on that first attack, you're blown up.
That was me.
Definitely blow.
Me. Me for sure.
I just raised my
I
hand.
didn't make an attack. I kept you real for a long time and didn't make an attack until you did.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I watch attacks that go, and I try to figure out, if I know the guy, I have a good idea whether they can sustain it or not. Otherwise, you know, you get crushed, and then you're no good later in the race because you just burn up all the matches. Sorry, Lloyd. Just catching other folks.
Oh, that was supposed to be the 150 effort.
Yeah, you come out at about 150, but that's only for a few seconds, and you just settle it back in. So that you do it for a surge, but if you can't do 150 repeatedly, then you maybe need to go to 130 or 140.
I took the attack at will last, but it was time wise. I get it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. All right, one sec. Let me type something out. I'm gonna do a wrap up with you guys.
I caught myself looking up the screen and just like, why am I racing this guy? And you're talking. Like, okay.
I just waited till you went, and then 2 minutes go by, and then there was just a few people in front of me, and I did a second attack.
There you go.
I learned I don't have a 5.0 attack.
You do on occasion. I've seen it.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to use flash photography, I think. It doesn't last.
Yeah, so the keys for today, what we're really focused on is how do you make those attacks stick and go for that 3 to 5K break at the end. So Seth actually raises a great point. Neither Seth nor I are sprinters. It is rare that I take someone on a sprint. Even when I'm fit and racing A's and holding with A's the whole ride, if I were to ride with some C's, most of the C's would take me in a sprint. If it was flat. Because I just don't have that raw power, and I'm not super explosive on the flats. But I can go from 3 to 5K fairly decently against a lot of riders. Obviously the big guns I can't, but against someone my own level, I can hold my own. So what we really want to work on is how are you going to get that first gap, and that's the key part. Because if you need to get space, if you don't get space, then it's better just to either sit up and wait for another opportunity, or if you see it's only one person or a couple people that you can take heads up at the end, then great, keep going. But now that you have that gap, you have to settle in an effort that you can sustain the whole way. So if you're going from 5K, that's 3 miles. Well, if you're doing 3 miles at 20 miles an hour, that's 9 minutes. If you're doing that at 30 miles an hour, that's 6 minutes. So you need to have somewhere between 6 and 9 minute power going for that one. If it's under 5K, you're really looking at your 5-minute power. And, you could potentially go 5-minute power over 5K if you're really hammering and just hoping on that last second, joy of the race will bring you there. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you get caught near the finish line. You see it all the time in the Pro Tour. So you really need to focus on how you're going to settle in when you're tired, 1, when you're just jacked up because you just broke away from the group, and 3, how you're able to keep the nerves from overcooking it or undercooking it because you're afraid you might blow up. So that's where that understanding of your 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, and 20-minute power comes from, or it's where it goes into play. You got to understand those numbers. They don't have to be exact because every day is going to be a little bit different, but a general understanding. So I will tell you, if I don't want a 20-minute attack and I go out at 300 watts, my 20-minute attack will probably last 6 to 7 minutes, and then I will get sucked up by the group, spit out, and laughed at for making a foolhardy move. So those are the things that you really want to look at as you're trying to put in these efforts to either win a race or bridge a gap or just hold on sometimes, because I'm doing that a lot of times when I'm racing with the big guys, just trying to hold on. So does anybody have any questions about what we covered today?
When do we get to do it again? That was a lot of fun. Except I feel like I needed more practice in that game.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some more of these. We're gonna focus a lot this spring on these kind of efforts. We'll do some chasing as well, so we can learn how to work and bring back the group or bring back an attack. That's always a lot of fun when you chase as a group. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing more of this over the next few weeks. It's in my opinion, these are the things that are really important for riding and racing on Zwift in groups, to have fun. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to understand that you're going to have some flyers out there, some weight dopers, whatnot, but it's all about just having a good time and giving what you can. So Lloyd just asked about how do you factor in tired. Well, that's a very good question. I will tell you, when you're racing longer races, you do need to take that into consideration. And so that's where you're going to look at tools like WKO Plus from Training Peaks, where you're going to have to understand your power curve over time. And what you can do is when you're doing longer rides or 2 or 3 hour training ride, add some of these attacks later on in the ride, where you're sitting in the ride, you're sitting in the group, you can practice that, and then you make these long attacks. The other way you can do it is if you do a 1 hour, 30 minute to 2 hour ride where you're constantly doing these attacks, how you feel at the end of that ride or the end of that workout is probably a good indicator of how you're going to feel at the end of the race. And that's where I would pick those numbers from.
Thanks again, Ian. Always very educational. I appreciate it.
No
Super
worries,
helpful.
Rich. No worries.
Yeah, thank you, Ian.
Thanks for coming
Thanks,
out.
Coach.
All right. So, folks on the stream, that is going to be it for us. Appreciate you guys joining in, whether you joined in live or you're joining in later on. Hope you guys got something out of the class. And join us next week for a non-Valentine's ride where we will be much kinder to each other.
Hugs and kisses, Ian.
Wait, that's not how that works.
It does in my world.
Ciao.
Good stuff. Thanks, Coach. Talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for the ride, boss. See you next week.